In order to answer the question, what is the role of human geography in our changing world, we've explored our own personal experiences and understandings of geography, as well as those of our interviewee, Steve Hinchliffe, a human geographer at the University of Exeter who specialises in urban nature. Our changing world refers to the current condition of our planet as well as our relationship with it, and therefore human geography plays a vital role as it resides in the nexus between the human world and the natural environment. We will illustrate this by considering the role of human geography in urban planning, the relationship between humans and non-humans, research on biosecurity, as well as its potential limitations.
Steve Hinchliffe spoke about the lack of influence his 2003 paper, Urban Wild Things, had in protecting the waterfalls, as the site is now a set of buildings and car parks. It brought to my attention how priorities are changing towards urban planning and how the Greenbelt has affected human geography's move to alter this development. It is evident that in this constantly urbanizing world, it is imperative to conserve our natural landscapes. However, Hinchliffe underlined missed opportunities within the Greenbelt policy in the UK. Its purpose is to control the urban sprawl and conserve the countryside and wildlife. The UK currently has 14 greenbelts around major cities, equating to a total land mass of almost 17,000 kilometres squared. Hinchliffe emphasised the importance of land protection, but doubted the choices made for the land on the Greenbelt. For example, some of the Greenbelt land outside of London has no species of interest. It was overfarmed and riddled with pesticides, therefore more viable for development than many inner city areas. There is an argument for more land in the inner city to be put on the Greenbelt. The role of human geography in a changing world can be highly contested. The positive influences are clear with policies like the Greenbelt. However, negative impacts must be brought into question. Endangered and rare species are being found all around large cities. For example, the black redstart in London and the fact that there are more bees in London than in Hertfordshire.
Over the last decades, we have witnessed increased anthropogenic pressures on our natural environment, and therefore on non-humans as well. Some of these are caused by development processes, such as the one mentioned before, urbanization. As Hinchliffe et al. Said, when faced with development plans, urban wilds can seem to fall without even a cry being heard. This is why human geography is important. It plays a vital role in protecting nature, as it studies, identifies, and mitigates anthropogenic impacts on our planet. Through his research paper, Urban Wild Things, a cosmopolitical experiment, Stephen Hinchliffe studies waterfalls and demonstrates how non-humans can play an active role in the creation of new knowledge in human geography. Hinchliffe et al. Argue for an ecologized politics or cosmopolitics, which places a consideration of human and non-human codependence at its core. It problematizes the question of where is nature, arguing that nature is not something that can be bounded to a specific location, rather it is everywhere. Human-animal relations are further studied in the subdiscipline of animal geography. According to Henry Buehler, animal geography recognizes animals as correspondent subjects within the academy, and he argues that this should be the case in wider human geography discourse and scholarship. Like Hinchliffe and Buehler, many human geographers are fighting to make non-humans relevant and to acknowledge that when they are treated as colleagues, non-humans can make immense contributions towards solving contemporary problems in our changing world.
Hinchliffe nowadays works on the issues of disease and biosecurity. Hinchliffe states that in his Urban Wilds paper turned out to be overall ineffective. In his Securing Life, the Emerging Practices of Biodiversity, he goes further to claim that he doesn't believe that biosecurity can ever be reached. There is a lack of communication and ability to control on such a massive scale. In Urban Wild Things, he talks about the relations between humans and non-humans and their interrelationships to be both complex and a vital area of study. In his 2008 paper, Hinchliffe writes how the importance of the control on the avian influenza in Egypt had on many parts of society, how animals play such an important role in disease spreading, as he and most people have seen the serious effects that come from COVID-19. Furthermore, in the interview, Hinchliffe pushes that social scientists don't just study behavior and how organisms can change, but also the ways that we are discussing matters and how we need to look at other drivers, such as the markets and economies. There are more global factors that affect biosecurity. It is evident that the role of human geography is a vital part of getting closer to a biosecure world, and there needs to be a greater discussion on how we can understand the complexity of biosecurity and what small-scale and large-scale efforts we can achieve.
We asked Hinchcliffe if critical physical geography, the implementation of human intervention in research, is likely to increase in the future. Our predictions was it would because of the growing social processes like urbanization and globalization today. We thought surely a growing population would call upon a more responsible role for social scientists, especially surrounding topics like health and disease and urban planning, which Hinchcliffe discusses, mentioning greenbelt and brownbelt sites outside London as already presented. Interestingly, Hinchcliffe has not seen much evidence of this collaboration, even in his own studies, but nevertheless thinks the discipline should continue putting effort into combining both fields, and stresses throughout the paper the value social scientists have to offer, including worldfish above, making clear the differentiation of other social scientists, not just focusing on behaviour, and that ecology is not just for scientists. A thread that runs through all his work is thinking through space and geography is a study of complexity. Spatialization of complexity and the interrelation flows through all the work he has been involved in. This reinforces social scientists should not act alone, and a skill set can benefit other branches. Now there'll be a discussion on why social science is undervalued and some of the difficulties posed.
Human geography academia may alter thought, but fails to tackle immediate real-world action. Using our interview, Hinchcliffe cites, "Don't overestimate the power of academic research," and building on Buller, short articles or research papers do not tend to be transformative, but part of a longer-term process. Therefore, real-world phenomena are often placed over the concerns raised by researchers. The problem is that currently human geography, alongside many social sciences, are undervalued and underappreciated. To quote Hinchcliffe, he stated that within major councils, leaders often know that they are needed regarding social scientists, but often don't know why. As suggested previously, human geographers and social scientists should remain important. At the same time, human geographers are portrayed to just study behaviour. However, this should be considered only a small part of our social lives, which geography covers in its entirety. Stephen suggests that academics don't get much choice because of the restrictions on funding. For Hinchcliffe, he used the Global Challenges Research Fund, which he provides academics money if they research global phenomena such as food security. This can limit academic research to some extent. For Stephen, his research is regarding antimicrobial resistance. Therefore, academics are often driven by others that fund them.
Overall, human geography plays a significant role in our changing world despite limitations. It has made great progress in proving that studying the non-human as well as the human is just as vital in solving contemporary problems. While academia on its own may not be enough, it is the knowledge we need to feel the actions and make informed decisions surrounding our planet, particularly in these green belt areas surrounding our cities where the human and nature collide. When looking into the future, where the human world and natural environment are becoming more and more intertwined in a symbiotic relationship, it is imperative to utilize the role of human geographers as the link between the two. Thank you for listening.